Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we are going to be continuing to try and leave the halls of eternity. However, I have no idea how long we still have left to go. We could get to the end partway through this episode, we could get to the end very, very early in, or right at the end. So we'll just have to see, or it might not even be this episode, to be fair. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see where we end up by the end of the time, as we make our way through. I cannot remember what we were talking about yesterday and or the day before, to be honest. So yeah, we're just gonna plod our way through. See how long it takes. I'm still, I should say that I am still working on cutting together the Moby Dick book reading. It's taking me a little bit longer than anticipated, but I am still working on it. It's going to be a very long couple of videos, to be perfectly honest, because I've barely made a dent in the overall book. Well, I say barely made a dent. I think I'm about a third of the way through the book, but we are already at I think it's about 8 hours already. Yeah. So it's definitely going to take a very long time. It's going to take a blooming long time to render it. That much is certain. And it's probably going to end up being quite a large file to upload. So it may take a few attempts to get it the right size, the right length, and all of that. But what I'm effectively going to do is get it all in the editor in one lump to the right size, so that everything's edited together, and then see how long it actually is, and then determine how big chunks to make it. Whether if it's 20 hours long, for example, I'd be best off doing something like 2 6.5-hour episodes and 1 7-hour episode or something. Yeah, it's one of those things. We'll just have to see just how long it actually is. Yeah. Because I very much am not sure. The reason I'm okay, so I'm going on a rough, very, very rough estimate of about 10 pages every 10 minutes. Which means that if the book is 1,280 pages long, roughly, that's 128 lots of 10, so 1,280 minutes, and 120 minutes is 2 hours, so 1,200 is 20 hours. So it'd be about 21.5 hours actually, just under. Roughly, depends. Because it'll probably be a little bit longer, because I don't think I did read actually at 10 pages every 10 minutes. I think it was under that. More towards 9. So it'll probably be edging on the higher side of the 20s by the end. although saying that, those 10-minute episodes did include greetings and ungreetings. I've completely forgotten the words for saying goodbye. Greetings and goodbyes. Let's go with, and everything else in between. But yeah, that should be good when they're done. And I think it'll be very nice to have that actually done, so that you can just listen to the whole thing through. I will need to work out how chapters work, so that you can skip through on the video itself. I will also try and work out how to do the time stamp thing and have that in the description at the bottom as well, so it's even easier to sort of traverse through. Which again is going to take a little bit of time to figure out, because I'm not particularly tech savvy when it comes to all of that sort of thing, to be quite honest. Not very tech savvy at all. I'm tech savvy enough, but I just don't inherently know some bits. Like, I'll be able to Google it and whatnot to get the answer, in theory. It'll then be a case of actually trying to implement it. That'll be another thing that'll be interesting to do. Yeah, should be good. Should be good. It'll be nice when it's done as well, because then it'll be out of my head. And then I can work on Thus Spoke Zarathustra. I need to backtrack and get the Thus Spoke Zarathustra Volume 1 done as well after Moby Dick, and then I can come back and do Thus Spoke Zarathustra Volume 2. But Volume 1 I'm going to have to do from the files that have already been edited, whereas Zarathustra 2 I can do from the raw files. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, is that the door? I do believe that is the door. But we don't really have time to get back to our comfortable house. It actually stops us at the door. So we're actually going to spend the night in the Hall of Eternity. Just because. Yeah, we will actually make the walk tomorrow. Because I don't want to start it now and just leave the shade part way through. So yeah, I think I'm going to start trying to do that as well for any other books I read. I wonder if it's worth me going back and doing the same for like the poems and fables and whatnot that I've read. I wonder if it'd be worth doing it for them as well. It'd be interesting. Yeah, if I can trick myself into doing it, I think I will. I'll go back through. I'll have to find them all. I think that's going to be the thing that's going to be the most time consuming and difficult, is actually finding the episodes where I have read the books or read bits of the books. I won't do my thoughts because that changes. That's an evolving one. So I won't do my thoughts. But all the other books I will go through at some point in the future. I'm not going to put the deadline on it because that never works for me. It's better if I just say that I'm planning to do it. And then if I don't do it, it's not the end of the world. If I do it, it's nice. So otherwise, I am going to say thank you very much for joining me today. We will be finishing off the walk home tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.